Hello one for the 3.15 Expedition League start. So I'm still going back and forth on what to play for League start. I've been doing that pretty much for the last couple days. Uh, Pretty much POB's been fully updated. The only thing they haven't updated yet is the new gems are still not in POB. So it's a little bit hard looking at the new skills and what to play just because of damage, what's it gonna look like. It's more just playing a guessing game. So I think this league is either the best thing I think is totems, traps, and specters are gonna be very good. Summoners, dominate blow, the new dominate blow skill, steal skill, stuff like that. I think are be very good. So what I've considered league starting with, I believe at this point, I think I like two ideas. Three of them can interact with each other, so it sort of works as a backup plan. But I probably will be making my decision before I actually play. I will be at work though, so I will be starting about 4-ish hours late on this league start. So I have time while I'm at work to watch people play, see what I'm seeing, see what other people are seeing, maybe change ideas. So we'll see how it goes. So one of the ideas I'm thinking is playing the Freezing Pulse Totems. This is the pretty much the exact same build that I played. Let me see, I have the video here. Back in 3.14 earlier this league. In the background, I'll have the video playing. So the build's extremely fast. It can clear maps no problem. Fast, what talkie. But yeah, you can see in the background it clears. It's definitely not even fully done either with this one I'm playing. It definitely did lower the damage. I think it still hits for like 5-6 million even with the nerfs. But it still hits very hard. The biggest thing about this build is it's super squishy, I would say. You're gonna take damage, you're gonna die. I don't know how hard Expedition League is gonna hit, but this is a great league starter. Potential is totems, even though control destruction's gone, your flash setup is changed, you don't run this anymore, but it's still very quickly good, and it still does everything no problem. This build will easily, on a low budget, carry you to red tier maps, no problem whatsoever. From all the times I played with the Nurses League, it's very obvious. Like, even see the boss health just got obliterated down the hat. Is gone already. Boss is done that quick. I believe it's the only map I did in here. Yeah. So, the map show, it's extremely fast. So you can see it clears. It's definitely a good build. I've done this build as league start 3-4 times already and had no problems. It is a little bit more risky now with only like 25 per totem. But pretty much it's pretty good because it's the normal thing, you frost first snow times 2, get your first one act 5. You don't league start with freezing pulse totems until you get Soul Mantle, the Kikizaki rings, and your first snows going. And same with your self flagellin. Without those, you really don't go freezing totems. League starting, the best thing to go with is gonna be what I be doing is gonna be the Holy Flame Tome, I believe it's called, with the Flame Wall combo. So whenever it gets more damage, it's super slow through the first couple acts until you get to, Ancestral Bond, Pursuit of Faith. That's when your build picks up and runs a lot smoother. Until then, your build's gonna feel like shit. I'm gonna say it off the back. Because pretty much it's pretty good because, even not converting doesn't make a difference, but, it's your normal setup with going up to here. This is your normal setup for Holy Flame Totem. Shooting this way, going up, getting Ancestral Bond. This does have a nice skill tree. This is the skill tree I used that the person created, but the person who created this is not playing this build this league. He's doing something else instead. But pretty much, the idea of this is pretty simple. The build, they did nerf cold conduction though, so it's not as strong as it was last league because cold conduction did help as a survivability. So it's definitely still playable though. It's your normal first snow, clear mind, the usual combo, because you don't reserve. Damage, crit, because you're still playing a crit build. You gotta remember that. That's why you take the I'm taking the Lara, but pretty much it's your normal, life, mana, ancestral, crit, ES, crit totems, life. You can sort of see like additional curses because you curse yourself. Totems that are hexes that don't do anything, cold damage, pain of 2. Only go this when you get your belt on. So it's a normal setup with totems. The changes are, since control destruction got neutered, it just becomes increased crit damage or crit chance, depending on whatever you need on your build, depending on how where you at flasks. Obviously, the flasks are still the old ones. Don't know why it's 2 quicksilvers. Hold on. Silver? There you go. Where's this one? So your crit chance is super low with this build. That's why you probably are going to have to run the crit strike chance instead of crit damage. It depends which one's better. But it's your normal Blazing Pulse totem setup. You have your sniper's mark for single target. Second wind is actually neutered, so this is actually gone now. So you have an open slot for whatever. Usual flame dash. I don't like Val Righteous Fire, so I'm going to probably end up taking this off too. And just run those 3. And maybe like a portal gem, I believe. Since I have 2 open slots, I'll probably put a portal gem in somewhere. A lot of it too has to be tested to see how the mana is going to be with this build. This is all stuff from lastly. There's no reason it's like this. Like second wind's not that good, so it's probably not going to be needed with this setup. Which gives you more open slots. When you actually get the Maven's Helmet on, you get the Hatred. Which, until then, to be honest, you don't run Clear Mind. I would just activate Hatred as a normal aura and skip Clear Mind. And when you get to the point where you get the helmet, then switch over to Clear Mind with the what's the Essence Worm. That's when you switch to Essence Worm. Because pretty much, like, you're starting, all you're really looking for is, like, cold damage, flat cold, cast speed, stuff like that. Crit if you can. Life, mana, resistance. Your Soul Mantle is the most important thing with this, so it's pretty much you need to grab Soul Mantle early. It's an easy day 1 item. 6 link, you're probably looking about 4 to 6 exalt. I think this league, I'm going to say it's probably around 6-7 exalts. Because a lot of people are playing totems. So it's going to be very expensive, but the 6 link is massive for the build. And until you get this Soul Mantle going, you do not use the Kikizaki. Kikizaki rings only on there with Soul Mantle, because this is 80% reduced mana. If you can, where are you at, Yugal? You can go Yugal, this hasn't been updated either, but you can go Yugal for the extra 20% it gives. If you can upgrade them in time. If you can't upgrade them, you just go get this, Sanctity Thoughts right down here for 3 points. And that gives you the 100% early on. But you don't need any of that stuff until you get Soul Mantle going. Because it mitigates Soul Mantle's okay. Soul Mantle's negative effect of cursing you. So you do pretty much the curses are up there to do nothing to you. And it's give you free damage. So pretty much, like, that's when your Kikizaki rings kick in. You can definitely run, like, this is it, like the helmet, the gloves, like, you can definitely run either one, like, one's high end, one's low end type of stuff. But, like, boots, movement speed, resistance. Fix your resistance a bit early, because the resistance is going to be a little bit tricky to get if you can't fix it correctly. Like Stygian Vice, you can either run a Headhunter, or, well, no, you don't want to, but Stygian Vice is the best early set to get. And then I'll show you the next belt you're going to get later, but it's pretty, I still would go Divine Life. Wise Oak is, even though with the nerfs, Wise Oak is still the best choice. This one probably going to be changed. I'm probably going to run, I would probably look at the Aqua, I think it is, the one that gives you freeze immune. Or one here, either way, really. But silver could probably still be used with onslaught. Movement speed, even though it's gonna be slower, still be usable. Medium cluster, astonishing cold. Small cluster with just life and health, life and mana. You know, your 2 first snows, you get 1 act 5. The other one you can just get through anything. You can buy for 1 chaos, even if that. Clear Mind is gonna be expensive, and self-flagell you can make yourself by corrupting green gems until it switches to a self-flagell. But they're usually also real cheap. So you run when you get Soul Mantle, that's when you want to switch over to Freezing Pulse, because by that time like these are 1 chaos. On League Start you can get all of this stuff pretty much going pretty early, depending on how much you're willing to play. Because ideally, when you get to the point where where people start to call Maven, she has her helmet drops. If you can get her helmet, that's when you can play the build at a much better rate, because that's when you can get the you know, your Clear Mind on. You can definitely then drop the 2 Kikizaki rings, and then you respec these points off, because that's when you, since the way the helmet works, if you have a ring in your right number 2 slot, which is the right one, it pretty much mitigates all curses on you, so you don't have to worry about anything. Definitely an amazing setup helmet. I have this built in my one of my past videos. If you want to take a look that way too, it's pretty much the endgame version. Just some changes. Like if you want like your temple mod increased damage against chilled enemies. You know, this is like the endgame helmet, the necklace. This is the one that you get from Tool, the upgraded version, because it gives you cold damage, chill, blind, damage pen. It's the best amulet with flash freeze. And that's when you can run your essence one, because your ring spot's open. Any green, if you want to run life, resistant, whatever you need. Life is the best. And then, you know, like Essence Warrant for hatred. Coward's Legacy is very easy to make yourself with the incursion. But once you get this, that's when you can also, that's when you would take Painted 2, because you're always on low life with that belt. So it pretty much, like this is the endgame version. It's playable. I know how build works. Very good League Start. This will definitely push you. Oh yeah, it's always like lab 1, 2, 3, and 4. You can definitely switch those if you need to. I like to go in that way. It depends if you want the extra minor matter protection early or late. But this is one of my League Start potentials. My other idea, instead of this one, is actually a new one off of a new skill. So this is Forbidden Rite. This is the one that the chaos like takes away part of your life to make the chaos jumping orbs. That's what this one is. I think this one's gonna be very good in this league. It's just don't know the damage from it because it's not in the game. So pretty much we're using Dark Pack. It's on Dark Pack. Pretty much it should be close to the same because they're both chaos skills. So the tree is the exact same. So if this sucks, it's an option that you can play Dark Pack instead for the time being. But it's pretty close to the same. You know, you're still getting your jewel slots. You're still getting your Tote Ancestral. Exact same. Your crit, your life, chaos. You can definitely take up these early also if your mana's a problem. You know, if you need stats, mind over matter, life, jewel slot. And this one also, like Rain of Splinters, I think could be good. With Totems fire 2 additional projectiles but to reduce damage. So I think it still makes up for itself. So even this can work also on the Freezing Pulse too. But this is also stupid cheap. You know, your crit totems, your life, mana, another jewel, crit, stats. You know, your Painted 2, same thing with Coward's Legacy. Your cluster jewel setup for chaos damage. You know, you set totem life. Since this one, totem's life is going to go down a lot faster, so you definitely want totem's life on things to help you out. Onslaught, totem life, totem damage. You know, it's regular jewels, life, crit. This one scales a little bit heavy on the crit side because your crit, you know, 84% chance, but I think this one has some new stuff in it. Yeah, this one has a new stuff out there. I believe maybe, but it's pretty much the exact same actually. You know, Forbidden Rite, this is the increased crit damage or chance chaos damage, con effect, void manipulation, hypothermia. If I'm not sure which I'm gonna run, I might end up doing this one because it's new. It's something I haven't done before. But if I do this one, you're stuck until library to start playing this spell because you get in Act 2 for the Templars. You don't get the Forbidden Rite. It's only for, I think, witches and shadows and scions. I always do it into library, which is annoying, but it's pretty much library. You can have your 4-link ready, which I'm not sure if it's good to switch early or you want to run flame totem until you get your soul mantle going. It's a 4-link at least, because then you run Forbidden Rite, crit damage, crit chance, and I believe void, since most of these are in Act 4 quests. But like your curse setup for despair, assassin's mark, just run assassin's mark early on. That's what I'll be doing. Over despair probably. Like, the enhances are going to come late. Arcanist brand's going to come later. Wither setup's super easy to get going. This is like where your damage comes from. Zealotry is your only thing you're running. Flame Dash, Arcane Surge, Duration, Phase Run for more defensive layer. I might get rid of this. This is someone who has made this, had this on there. I don't know if I'm going to keep this though. Lightning Golem, Enhance and Power is not going to happen. Bob Breach for fun. There's a lot of changes to this. This is definitely not perfect. It's just something that was made to get going. But, like, pretty much the way I'm looking at it is, like, it's the same thing, wands, spell damage, cast, crit. It's the same type of the helmet. Maven's helmet. Obviously, Maven's helmet doesn't come available, so it's going to be the same as the Freezing Pulse setup, where it's Soul Mantle, try to get the 4-link. That's why I say this, because this gear is goofy. But, get that. Kikizaki, double Kikizaki rings. Use that until with the whole combination down here with this. Until you get the Maven's helmet. Then you switch over to the Essence Worm Magic Ring combo. It's the same both builds play. Soul Mantle, gloves, life resistance, boots. You can either do the other one was, or you can run these Torque Close steps. I would say Torque Oak step, I guess, or Torch Oak, I guess. They're both. This boots are good on both builds, depending on what you're gonna play with. Oh shit! What'd I do? There you go. I just don't see any reason in this one. This would be more for like this type of build. You don't have to worry about too much in the other one because this one needs life. The other one doesn't. Like Zephos Heart. This is gonna be a really hard item to get because this is gonna be expensive. Probably a couple exalts. But until you get this, once you get this, all your damage ignites chills and shocks. And that's when I would switch over to hypothermia. Because pretty much, like, this is the 5-link. If I don't have that, I would just, if I get heart before, or no, if I get the 6-link before that, I would just run this as crit, strike chance. And then switch that out for hypothermia whenever I got the actual necklace. Essence Worm when you can. For the Zealotry, Coward's Legacy, same thing, easy to make. Probably like a day 3 item, 2 or 3. This will be expensive on League Start, but gets cheaper over time. Like expensive on League Start, cheaper over time. Zellheart, yeah, we're not talking about that. This will be cheap no matter what. Like Flask, Dying Sun, I don't know, this price will be very interesting this league. Bottle of Fate, definitely not even needed anymore. Your normal other flasks, which are easy to make. And like the cluster jewels with this build I do like because they are actually pretty easy to make. This is super easy. I think it's like level 68, I think, or level 1. I forget which one this is. I think like these are easy to make. I think it's these two. With your Ancestral and Sleepness, I can definitely get this done by day 2. So I'm not going to have a whole lot of time to play on Friday. This one I'll probably buy, and this one I'll probably buy just because it'll be easier, but it depends really how fast you get the harvest, how much harvest do I see, stuff like that. Also, what maps are in what region. Obviously, it's level 100. I haven't gone through this and actually figured out a leveling version of this tree, but I'm pretty sure it'll be the same as normal. I'm going to probably end up going this way if I play this build, just to get the life and mana early, because there's no point really in getting intelligence to save points. I'd rather just go this way. Here, damage, go down here, and then start shooting up this way quickly, and then pick up skip this stuff, go here, then up, maybe get this or skip it for now, maybe get the crit or skip, shoot down this way, skip that, get this, then go back here, and once this connects, I can decide if I want to break this off or leave it, or for the time being to skip these 2 points and just shoot up this way, get your crit damage here, life, mana. If you want to get the crit early, you can skip these points if you don't need the attributes. A lot of stuff like depends too on how it's looking throughout the league. Like this, you don't get it till the belt. Jewels you don't need until you actually have the jewels going, which are just like crit and life. Like this, if you want to get early, I can. Cluster jewel you don't get. You can definitely. So Whispers of Doom is what you want to annoy, but that ain't really league start friendly. So I'm probably gonna end up just shooting up this way and spend the extra 3 points. Yeah, spend the 3 points and just annoying it myself. It'd be a lot cheaper. Then up here, you can either go this to connect these real quick, or here, which will be better because there's no point respecting that later. So just go back this way and just respect these 3 points later when you eventually get 3 goldens. But I probably won't be playing this build long enough to get to that point. And then just crit. So I mean, I'm not sure which one I'm going to least start with, because one, I know how the one works. This one, I don't know because we don't see the gem. Because if I try updating POB, yeah, no updates available. So the gems are still not going to be on here. And since I work tomorrow, I had no chance of even seeing if the gems are going to be on there or not. I'm just going to, while I'm at work, I'm just going to see if people are playing this build and seeing how they like it or not. If I'm at work and I see people playing this that it looks pretty bad, I'm not going to league start with this build. I'll probably just go to Freezing Pulse Totem instead. Or maybe I'll do something completely different. I'm not sure, but I think it's between these two. I'll link both of these POBs in the description below. And I originally wanted to play this. I wanted to do the Slam Totem build using these 4 right here. It's just I don't know how the Slam Totem build scales. If it scales on whatever you put the Slam, or if it scales only on the Totem ability. That's why I didn't want to gamble it, so I'm skipping it. But like, go start here, you're getting your life all through here. You can definitely make it a max block build with all your block chance you have by the starting area. All the block chance over here. Your armors, you can definitely go big endurance charges, jewel slots, life, then you shoot up this way. Like, I definitely think that's a potential. With the Scion Wheel, I think that could be a really good potential build. It's just doing a max block totem build without the actual totem skill being in the game, POB yet, is the only thing I'm worried about. Otherwise, I definitely would be league starting with this for like, crazy amount of endurance charges. Yeah, endurance charge. Totems leech life to you, which would help a lot too, as far as ability reasons. You have fire is crazy resistance that cannot be ignited. Then you have totems are immune to fire, which is pretty good against certain bosses. Enemies near totems deal less damage, or they take more damage also. Increase AoE effect while you have a totem. I mean, like, this kind of stuff is extremely good. It's just without the skill being in the game, I don't want to chance it. Otherwise, this would be 100% my league start right now. Or if I'm at work tomorrow, and the same thing, if I see that the Forbidden Rite is meh damage-wise, and someone has a POB for this, I might look at it while I'm work, see it looks pretty good, and I'll probably just end up playing this instead. But every one of these 3 skills, I'm going to probably release this video through, I think it's 3 hours before league start, if I'm guessing, 2 or 3. I forget if it starts at 3 o'clock or 2 o'clock my time. But it should be like 2 or 3 hours before league start happens, which I will also have like 7 to 8 hours after this video comes out before I actually start playing. So if you know what you're playing in the Expedition League, and if you please put in the description below for people so they can see too. I know a lot of people are still don't know what to play this league. But I'll make this probably get out for a couple hours before so people can look. But I hope everyone has a good POB or a good Expedition League 3.15. Hope everyone finds Exalt early. They get the items they want. Because I want to get a character, I don't care which character it is, to push currency for my real character. Because my real character, I have the POB ready. It's just, it is not a cheap character. I'm looking at hundreds of exalts for that build to min-max it, which I'm going to end up doing my project throughout the league. Like, my full league project is to min-max the crap out of the actual build I want to play. And this is like meta craft gear. But build would be really fun if the nerfs didn't hit as hard. The POB didn't change in damage, so it shouldn't have hurt. It just needs a lot of crafting, and it needs a lot of alternate quality gems, which means I'm going to be doing a lot of heists this league. So if anyone has gem blueprints, I'll be happy to buy them off you, no matter what level they are. So I hope everyone has a good league. If I missed anything in here, any questions about totems, please put in the description below. I can answer them while at work. But I'll be on Discord when we streaming this, probably. The stream will be up tomorrow. I work this weekend, so it's going to be short streams. But once Sunday hits, I have a week off from work. And you can expect, good 16, 17-hour streams all week. And probably a 30-hour stream on Sunday I'm hoping for. So, hope everyone liked the video. And hope to see everyone on League Start.